Hello, St. Anthony first graders. This is Mr. Scott again, and I'm here on YouTube with lesson number 3. This will be our third lesson that we have done on the YouTube channel. Remember, you need to be completing these assignments and turning them into Mrs. Wetzel. If you have not completed lessons 1 and 2, you can still go back and watch those videos on the YouTube channel and get those completed and turned in. But it's very important that you are completing all of the assignments in order to get a good grade in art for this 9 weeks. So lesson number 3, the one we're going to do today, is for Thursday, August 27th. That's this coming Thursday. And it's going to be due Monday, August 31st. That is next Monday when you guys come back to school. So you're going to listen to this video, watch this video, complete the project, and turn it back into Mrs. Wetzel on August 31st, next Monday. I kind of want to review what we did last time on lesson number 2. We talked about the primary and the secondary colors. And we made 2 different designs. You had 2 pieces of paper that she gave you last week, and you were to do a primary design on one and a secondary design on another. Well, we're going to learn some more about primary and secondary colors today. So you can always go back and watch video number 2 again if you want to review that, if it'll make it easier for you to do today's assignment. So today we're going to start talking about something called a color wheel. And a color wheel is just a tool that an artist uses to help them learn about colors and helps them to remember things about colors. So on a color wheel, we are going to put the primary and secondary colors. And when we make a color wheel, if we get the colors in the incorrect order or the wrong order, our color wheel is going to be telling us wrong information. So as we're working today, it's super important that we get the colors in the right order. Mrs. Wetzel gave you a handout that looks something like this. You should have this in your backpack, and it was put in there on Tuesday, sent home with you on Tuesday. So you'll need to get this handout in order to complete the project. Our project is going to actually be to fill out this handout. And this circle here in the middle is going to become our color wheel. The first thing I want you to do, you'll notice that on the front of the handout, there is no place for your name. And I did that on purpose because I really want us to get into the habit of putting our name on the back of our artwork. So we're going to turn it around. And remember, with a regular pencil, we never use a marker for this. With a regular pencil, we are going to write our name as neatly and as carefully as we can, making our letters correctly, doing our best handwriting, making it easy for me to just flip your paper over and see your name. So you can see my name on there. It doesn't fill the whole back of the paper. It's not super tiny. I did my best handwriting, tried to make my letters as good as I could. And it's on the back of the handout. It is not on the front of the handout. It is on the back. So now I'm going to turn the handout back over, and we're going to get started on completing it. You can do this with either crayons, like we used on last week's project. We did both our primary and our secondary designs with crayon, or you could use markers if you have them. Either one is fine. Crayon is just as good as marker. I'm going to use markers today on the video just so it's a little easier for you to see. I'm also going to use a black marker to fill in some words. I would suggest that you do that with a regular pencil, just because it'll be a little easier for you, and if you make a mistake, you can erase it off or correct anything you need to correct. I'm using the black marker, so it will be easier for you to see. So you will see there's a long empty line at the top of our handout. And we're going to write our title on there. We're actually making a color wheel. And that is COLORWHEEL. Color wheel. Now remember, we talked last time, we talked last time that we can stop and start the video. You could pause the video if you want to take a chance to copy down the letters and get things spelled correctly. Or remember, you can always go back and replay the video. If you miss something, you can always play it again. Or you can pause it, copy what you need to copy down, and then continue on. So at that top line, we are writing the words color wheel. COLORWHEEL. Color wheel. A color wheel is a tool that helps artists learn and remember things about colors. I want us to think about this circle as a clock. You notice it's divided into 6 equal parts. But before we fill those parts in, we're going to think about this as a clock. And you could do this to help you. I'm going to add some numbers to this, and I think it'll make it easier for you to follow the directions. So if this were a clock, at the very top would be our 12. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a small 12 up there where the top would be. This would be 1 o'clock, and this would be 2 o'clock. So right there by that line, I'm putting a 2. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock would be the next line. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock would be down here at the very bottom. 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So I'm putting on those on there to make it a little bit easier to follow the directions. And if you want to mark them on there with a pencil to help you, that is fine. But I have 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. I did not put a 1. I did not put a 3. I did not put a 5. I did not put a 7. I did not put a 9. I did not put an 11. I don't want you to put those numbers on yours either. I just want 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. These numbers are going to help us get the colors in the correct order. And when I look at this, when you turn this in, that's going to be the number one thing that I'm looking for on this project, is that you have the colors in the correct order. If the colors are in the incorrect order, then our color wheel is giving us incorrect information, and it won't help us learn about colors or help us remember things about colors. It'll be telling us the wrong thing. So we are going to do our very best to get everything in the correct order. We're going to start with the primary color red. Like I said, I'm going to use a marker, but you are going to use a pencil, or excuse me, a marker or a crayon. You can do either one. I'm using a marker because I think it'll be a little easier to see, but you could use a crayon if you want. If you use a crayon, make sure that you have the one that just says red, R-E-D. We do not want one that says red orange or one that says red violet. We want the one that just says R-E-D, red. With our red marker or crayon, we are going to color as carefully as we can the space between 12 and 2. So I'm going to do that real quick. I'm going to try to do my very best work, letting my wrist and fingers do the work so that I can stay inside those lines and so I can fill it in very carefully. So I have the primary color red. It actually looks kind of orange. It looks like on the screen, but it is actually a red. Okay? So that is my red crayon or my red marker, and I colored the space between 12 and 2. We're going to skip the next space, and I'll explain why later on. But for now, it's just really, really important that we skip the next space. So I colored red. I'm going to skip this one, and I'm going to go down to the space that is between 4 and 6. And I'm going to very carefully use my yellow marker to color in the space between 4 and 6. Filling in as carefully as I can. So you can see between 4 and 6, I've used the primary color, yellow. Again, if you're using crayon, make sure that you use the one that just says YELLOW. We do not want yellow green or yellow orange. We want the one that just says yellow. Then I'm going to skip the next space. I'm going to skip between 6 and 8, and I'm going to color the space between 8 and 10. And I'm going to use the primary color blue. And again, I'm going to fill in as carefully as I can. Okay, so if you remember from last week, those are our three primary colors: red, yellow, and blue. And we've got those three primary colors on our color wheel now. Red is between 12 and 2. I skipped a space. Yellow is between 4 and 6. I skipped a space. Blue is between 8 and 10. And my last space is still white. We're saving those white spaces for the secondary colors. And it's very important, again, that we get these in the correct order. We make a secondary color by mixing two primary colors. If I had the primary color red and the primary color yellow, and I mixed them together, I would get the secondary color orange. So between the red and the yellow, the space that is between 2 and 4, I'm going to color orange. Because if I mixed red and yellow together, I would get orange. And again, our order is extremely important. Okay? So my space between 2 and 4 is orange. If I mix the primary color red with the primary color yellow, I would get orange. If I were to mix the primary color yellow with the primary color blue, I would get the secondary color green. So I'm going to take my green marker. Again, if you're using crayon, you want the one that just says Green. Green. We do not want one that says yellow green or blue green. We want the one that says green, Green. I'm going to use my green marker, and I'm going to color the space between 6 and 8 green. Mixing the primary color yellow with the primary color blue would give me the secondary color green. Okay. Yellow mixed with blue gives me green. If I mix the primary color blue with the primary color red, I get the secondary color purple. And I think we talked about last time, another name for purple is violet. So you may not have a crayon that says purple, Purple. Your purple crayon may say violet, Violet. Violet and purple are the same thing. I'm going to take my purple crayon and I'm going to color that last space in with my purple. And again, I'm trying to do it as neatly and as carefully as I can. Trying to stay inside those lines. So there we have all the colors on our color wheel, all the primary and the secondary colors. And yours should be in the same order. And remember, if you need to stop and start the video or watch the video twice or a couple times in order to get the order correct, go ahead and do that. But it goes red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Down here at the very bottom, we're just going to do a little more review. You can do this with your pencil. I'm going to do it with my black marker just so it's easier for you to see. On the first line here, I'm going to write the word primary. P R I M A R Y. We did that last week. Remember, we wrote the word primary on the back of our primary color design. It is P R I M A R Y. Then we're going to take our primary colors, and I drew some little paint splatter shapes. These are going to be our little paint splatters. So one primary color is red. I would color one paint splatter red. Another primary color is yellow. So I'm going to color a paint splatter yellow. And the last primary color is blue, so I'm going to color that last paint splatter blue. So on the line, I wrote the word primary, P-R-I-M-A-R-Y. I colored the primary color red on one paint splatter, yellow on another paint splatter, and blue on the last paint splatter shape. Down here on the next line, again, you can do this with your pencil. I'm doing it with a black marker so you can see better. I'm going to write the word secondary. It is S-E-C-O-N-D-A-R-Y. S-E-C-O-N-D-A-R-Y. Secondary. Okay. Orange is one of our secondary colors. So I'm going to color one paint splatter orange. I am going to color the next paint splatter with the secondary color green. And I am going to color the last one with purple. Okay? I want you guys to work really hard at remembering these secondary and primary colors. Okay? Primaries are red, yellow, and blue. The secondaries are orange, green, and purple. Our word primary is P-R-I-M-A-R-Y. Secondary, S-E-C-O-N-D-A-R-Y. Again, we've written our name on the back of the handout because I want you to get into the habit of writing your name on the back, not the front. Did my best handwriting, wrote it towards the top. So you're going to put this handout after you have completed it back into your folder, and you're going to turn it into Mrs. Wetzel next Monday on August 31st. Okay? Again, I want to remind you it's super important that you're doing the YouTube assignments and that you're getting them turned back into Mrs. Wetzel. Cannot give you a good grade in art if you're not completing your jobs. So if you've not done the last two videos, you need to go back and kind of look at those. I'm going to hold this up for you one more time. Remember, you can stop and start the video, but this is what I want to see back from you on Monday. Colors in the correct order, primary and secondary at the bottom. Remember, we imagined the circle being a clock, and those numbers are just to help us get the colors in the right place. Hey, I hope you have fun with your color wheel, and I look forward to seeing you at school soon. But until then, I'll see you on YouTube again next week. Thank you.